because now we go to character species. Okay, so they renamed race to species. I don't know if that's... I don't know. Like, I don't know what the correct term is. I'm not going to fight over it. I'm going to use the term they give me, because people that don't know the game then at least know where the hell they have to look. I do think I like Ancestry from Pathfinder 2 more, personally, but I don't know. When you choose your character's species, you determine whether your character is a human or a member of a fantastical species such as a dragonborn or a gnome. I find it extremely funny that they have to specify whether you're a human or you're not. Like, I don't know why, that just feels weird. Do you want to be, like, it's almost like, do you want to be boring or not? You know, do you want to be a human or do you want to be a fantastical species? I also accidentally just did something and I don't know what. Anyway, people of the D&D multiverse hail from many worlds, are members of many different sapient life forms. Player character species is the set of game traits that an adventurer gains from being one of those life forms. Characters' upbringing and training are represented in the rules by class and background. Some species can trace their origin to a single world, plane of existence, or god, while other species first appeared in multiple realms at once. Whatever a species' origin story, its members have spread across the multiverse and contribute, whatever, to various cultures. To learn more about cultures on D&D Worlds, consult descriptions of the game's settings, such as Forgotten Realms and Sword Coast Adventures Guide and Eberron Rising from the Last War. Okay then. Cool. Ardling. I have no idea what an Ardling is. To be perfectly honest. No idea what that is. Celestial animals roam the Beastlands, a plane of untamed beauty and wild nature. Many of those otherworldly animals serve the Beast Lords. And in the early days of the multiverse, some of the animals evolved into bipedal forms. Among their number are Ardlings, people with beast-like heads, keen senses, and an innate connection to divine magic. Long ago, the ancestors of Ardlings migrated to the material plane, and Ardlings can now be found on many worlds. An Ardling has a head resembling that of an animal. Depending on the animal, the Ardling might also have fur, feathers, or scales. Some little and others hulking. Ardlings are as varied as the animals they resemble. Okay. So they're furries? Like, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't know. Okay, sure. Excuse me. As an Ardling adventurer, you have the following special traits. Are they going to mention something about ability score improvements? They're not. So I'm assuming that's the +2/+1 then, right? Or was +1/+1/+1 allowed? I don't remember. Or was that backgrounds these days? Didn't they have a thing where that was on backgrounds? Wait, hold on. How did that work again? I don't remember. God. How did this work? How did this work? I don't remember if they moved this. They moved it, didn't they? They moved it to Ardling wasn't the original. I didn't remember that. They moved it to backgrounds, didn't they? The build your backgrounds. Yeah. They moved it to your background. Right. Because, for example, Acolyte gave you +2 to Wisdom and +1 to Intelligence. Right. It's not tied to Ancestry anymore. Right. I completely spaced on that. You're completely correct. Sorry. It's been a while since I've seen the first one. Okay, so as an Ardling adventurer, special... yeah, I should probably actually look at this first, right? So it's a humanoid, size medium or small, chosen when you select the species, 30 feet and 200 years on average. Seems pretty cool. And then as an Ardling, you have the following special traits. You are descended from a celestial animal. Choose one of the ancestries, then choose one of the example animals listed for that ancestry. You gain the benefits of that ancestry, and your head resembles the head of the chosen animal. Okay. So then you have 4 choices. Climber, bear, cat, lizard, or squirrel. You have hooked claws, sharp nails, or a serpentine tail. You have a climb speed equal to your speed. Okay. And once per turn, when you deal damage with your unarmed strike to a target, you can increase the damage to that target by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Which means this is pretty good on a monk. I mean, you know, I would assume you can pick this on monk. Okay, cool. Flyer. You have vestigial wings. As a result, when you fall at least 10 feet, you can use your reaction to safely glide downwards, taking no damage from the fall. Ooh. In addition, when you take the jump action, you can flap your wings to gain advantage on that action's ability. Right, because jumping's an ability check these days. Right. What was the... there was a rule for that, I remember. Again, in the original. I still think the original was not a good one. I was very heavily against 1D&D. Well, not very heavily, but I wasn't really a fan of 1D&D when the original Unearthed Arcana came out, I remember. Was jumping not a thing? Or is that in expert classes? I know there was something about a jumping check in the original files. Jump. Is it here? Is it in the second file? Oh yeah, it is in the second one. The jump action, you attempt to leap more than 5 feet. When you take this action, your speed must be greater than 0. DC 10 strength check. You have disadvantage if you don't move at least 10 feet immediately before. On a failed check, you leap 5 feet horizontally. On a successful check, the check's total determines the distance in feet that you can clear horizontally, or half the total if you're jumping vertically. Cool. Okay. Because jumping became an action. So pretty much what they're saying is you get advantage. So you get so you don't take this with monk. Ironically enough, because you're wasting your fall reaction. Taking no damage from the fall. In addition, when you take the jump action, you can flap your wings to gain advantage on that action's ability check. I find it weird that they didn't put jump action in the glossary then. Okay. I mean, sure. Still a little weird. It depends, right? Like was it athletics or acrobatics for this? For jumping. Acrobatics or athletics, you get to choose. I mean, that's not too bad. Could be fun with like a rogue or something, just have like expertise in acrobatics. Or a bard for that matter. Get advantage on jumping. But then again, you're using an action for that. Like, I don't know. Not necessarily a fan. I don't know if this is that great, but it's cool. Racer, when you take the dash action, your speed increases for that action. The increase equals 10 times your proficiency bonus. This is just overall pretty decent. There's a decent amount of times where you dash. You're always going to get value out of this. And then swimmer, you can hold your breath for up to an hour, and you have a swim speed equal to your speed. In addition, you have resistance to cold damage. This is also just pretty decent. Honestly, Ardling seems like a monk race for some weird reason. I don't know why. Like, I think you can pretty much take, like Flyer and Racer maybe aren't great on monks. Well, no, that's not true. Even Racer's good. I think Flyer's like the one that's not great, and even then, it's pretty decent. I don't know. I like it. Yeah, no, I like it. I think this is pretty good. Alright. And then again, like resistance to cold damage. Yeah, no. I think this is a pretty decent ancestry, I think. The only issue is like Unarmed Strike not being really good in D&D, except if you're playing a monk. I've always disliked like races that have like the Unarmed Strike ability on ancestries, like Tortle and stuff. Like that's the one reason I wouldn't pick a Tortle. Pretty much is like you get to hit someone with a claw, and it's like I'm never gonna hit someone with a claw. Maybe as like a wizard, but even then you have like, you know, if you're I don't know. I've always felt like that was slightly a waste of an ability. But this is decent, like, instead of at least making it a D4. Because, like, a Tortle Monk, you're just completely getting rid of that ability, right? Like, I don't know. But this is decent. Anyway, I've been talking too much about this. You can innately channel minor divine magic, no thaumaturgy. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace that spell with a different... Okay, so you have a divine spell cantrip. I mean, okay then. Like, you know thaumaturgy, but when you finish a long rest, you can change it to something else. Like, I get that you're giving an example, but it's like, I don't know. You can choose intelligence, wisdom, or charisma as your spellcasting ability. So they are going into like general spellcasting abilities for this. Which makes sense, seeing as the ability score improvement got thrown off of ancestries and onto backgrounds. AF proficiency and perception. This seems like a pretty decent... Ardling seems pretty decent. Like, I've got to be honest.